Hello, viewers, listeners, and subscribers. Zainab is my name, and you are listening to me from Empire Opinions. Today, I will be talking about assault on teachers and disregard towards them. Stay tuned and journey with me. Rampant assault on teachers and disregard towards them. Lately, there has been frequent assault on teachers in Ghana and general disregard towards them. In an era of gross indiscipline among students, typically at school, what can Ghana Education Service and the government of Ghana do to curb such problems? Share your thoughts and opinion about this with me. School authorities are not just to impart theoretical knowledge and vacate. It is also a requirement for them to groom, ensure compliance and good behavior of each student. However, in doing so, authorities are not supposed to abuse their positions and powers to intimidate students by meting out unnecessary punishment anyhow on the least provocation. Students are supposed to obey rules and regulations, but in situations where they are uncomfortable with, don't seem to understand, or are being punished unfairly, they are to do the needful by reporting to the next authority following school hierarchy. How on earth will teenagers take laws into their own hands to cause physical harm to tutors, cause anarchy and violence at school premises? This sort of behavior was unheard of decades ago until now. This only means there is a problem. There is something society isn't doing right. Parents and guardians are first point of contact for nurturing, grooming, and ensuring appropriate manners and behaviors from wards. However, if there is mass indiscipline and disrespect towards tutors, then we have to blame parents on 80% grounds. Students are to take 10% blame, while teachers have 10% blame too. This is because tutors may be trying to do their job but will have interference from some parent not to do blah blah to their children. On the other hand, no matter the efforts of parents and guardians, individuals grow to possess their own mindset. Keep calm while we have a look at some of the root causes of indiscipline and assault on teachers in Ghana. To begin with, parental negligence. The breakdown of some family structure and decline in parental involvement in moral upbringing, with some parents undermining school authority by interfering in disciplinary action, is the number one cause of indiscipline and assault on teachers. Also, failing to instill respect for authority and social norms at home, which contribute to rebellious behavior and the feeling of entitlement, is another factor. Besides, outdated disciplinary practices. The use of old-fashioned, harsh or abusive corporal punishment by some teachers causes resentment and hence induces retaliation from students. Lack of training in 21st century non-violent classroom management techniques also accounts for indiscipline and assault on educators. In addition, student autonomy and external influence. The exposure to technology and social media as well as global culture glorifying violence, which influences most students to imitate, is another major cause of assault on tutors and indiscipline among students. Economic hardship often affects some students, leading to not being of best behavior at school. For instance, students who work to earn income after school may be showing signs of tiredness and not well-behaved attitude in class, which appears disrespecting, while teacher is exerting energy to share knowledge. Moreover, systematic weakness. Inadequate school policies for addressing grievances contributing to student frustration is another core cause of tutor assault and indiscipline in schools. Overcrowded classrooms, under-resourced schools, overcrowded classrooms and under-resourced schools which limit teachers' capacity to manage behavior effectively is another factor. Sweeping up cultural respect for educators, exacerbated by media portrayals and shifting societal values, is another cause. At this juncture, I would like us to look at the way forward to curb assault on teachers and indiscipline. First and foremost, strengthening parental accountability and engagement. Parental workshop is one of the way to deal with assault on educators and indiscipline. GES, in partnership with traditional leaders, should mandate workshops to enlighten parents on their roles in instilling discipline and supporting school policies. Again, community parent partnerships. Committees should be established to monitor student behavior, mediate conflict, and ensure alignment between home and school values. Secondly, reform disciplinary frameworks. That's policy restructuring. Clear non-violent disciplinary guidelines should be spelled out prohibiting corporal punishment. Teachers should be trained in restorative justice and positive reinforcement techniques. Also, student grievance mechanisms such as Commission of Ombudsmen, Student Council should be incepted to ensure accessible and confidential channels for reporting unfair treatment and to enhance timely resolution. In addition, teacher capacity building. Professional development should be a priority. This can be attained by investing in regular training for teachers on conflict resolution, mental health awareness, and inclusive classroom management. Again, initiating government-funded counselors in schools to address behavioral issues and to provide psychosocial supports. Moreover, implementing systematic support for schools. When government allocates more resources to enhance funding for infrastructure, it will minimize overcrowding and improve learning environments. Adding to the above, if GES establish oversight teams to regularly monitor and evaluate school disciplinary practices and atmosphere, such appalling behaviors wouldn't exist. Furthermore, economic and policy intervention. This is achievable through poverty alleviation. The state will have to expand social safety nets to reduce stress affecting student behavior. For instance, the school feeding program can be revised to provide healthy, nutritious, and balanced diet to boost memory and well-being of students. Expired food is a no-no. Culprits involved in this should be arrested and prosecuted. Besides, enacting stricter laws against assault on teachers with repercussions aligned with juvenile justice framework would make students act with caution, hence put a halt to indiscipline and assault on teachers. Last but not the least, leverage technology responsibly. Another way to deal with the above menace is to promote digital literacy programs to educate students on responsible use of social media and to develop critical thinking abilities to counter negative influences. Lastly, Cultural restoration campaigns. Implementing national advocacy by launching media campaigns involving community leaders and cultural icons to celebrate educators and emphasize on value and respect for education is also a means to end assault on teachers. Again, reviving traditions like Parents' Day to foster collaboration between schools and families can address indiscipline leading to assault on teachers. To sum it all up, a multi-stakeholder approach is crucial. Parents must reclaim their roles as basic moral guides, while GES and government modernize disciplinary system, support teachers, and address socio-economic factors. Restoring regard for education requires cultural revival, equitable resource distribution, and collaborative governance to ensure schools remain disciplined and safe surroundings for learning. Thank you. I would like to get your feedback to the comment section or my emails.